Hey, welcome to A-Aron Reacts. I'm a jazz musician and salsa dancer, so I feel music in every way. The melody, harmony, lyrics, rhythm, and visuals. Every reaction is an experience and a journey. I definitely look forward to going on this journey with you. We're back for the big push. This comes by way of a special request from one of my longtime YouTube members. So thank you, Liana Babelli. Been subscribed for 5 months. Hey, Aaron, got a recommendation to toss your way. The Big Push's Swan song. And we did Remains Time After Time already. Swan song is one of the first ever tracks that the Big Push put together officially as a group. I didn't know that. Swan song, you get to see Ren play a melodica, and it's amazing with the acoustics of the church. Remain literally sings with guitar. Okay, so that's the second one in terms of the other, which Time After Time was truly fantastic. That was one of those after I reacted to it. It was in my head for many days. So here we go, the Big Push. It sounds like this one might be a little bit different than what I've seen from the Big Push and also the first one they put together. So definitely look forward to it. Let's get to it.
What do you see with the eyes in your head?
Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful struggle, or are you content? Fear and anger so garishly close, resignation and ignorance tied up in bows. Adhering to a pub or a saddler's club, a joke had a punchline, people all around.
Wow.
Rose-tinted glasses and no one is saying. A big waltzing blindfold, we are what we play. We are what we play. Nothing is sane.
Okay, so far musically, their harmonies are just fantastic, but musically there's nothing outlandish. But here it almost sounds like, I'm sure it's deliberate, to be clear. I'm sure it's deliberate, but it almost sounds like he's playing a wrong note.
We are what we play.
Right here? Yeah.
Nothing is sane. What can he hear with his ears and his hands? Her silently weeping, his head in the sand. Patiently lurking in water and wine, he'll drown by her tears, choke on his time. What forsaken and taken too soon for murdering old mother, we dance on the moon. Deaf to the thunder that silently cracks, we're holding our breath until her collapse. What do you feel with your heart in your chest? Some few thousand years could soon come to rest. Do you feel the butcher, the bullet that bores with corkscrewing chaos and mighty roar? What do you feel with your heart in your chest? Some few thousand years could soon come to rest on the shoulders of man and his bag full of bombs, bell-tolling destruction, our final song. Bell-tolling destruction, bell-tolling destruction, our final song. Bell-tolling destruction, our final
Beautiful. That blew my mind. That is nothing like anything I've seen the Big Push do at all. And that completely puts them into a different perspective. Absolutely stunning harmonies. And then I love the, I think it's some few thousand years where they were saying some few thousand years and then some few thousand years. I think that was the line, if I'm not mistaken, but where you saw Gorn and Remain, kind of repeating each other, kind of the old row, row, row your boat, and then the next person comes in, row, row, row your boat. It's the same type of cyclical pattern with a delay, right? I imagine there's a term for that, but I don't actually know that. This was just fascinating, and I think we have some deep lyrics that I'm going to definitely need to unpack. But again, just hauntingly beautiful. Yes, I love the acoustics, the reverberation there in the cathedral. I mean, just stunning, and right on the melodica, how cool. And Gorn sounded great on the guitar. They just all sounded fantastic. All right, I'm gonna pause and take a look at the lyrics. Okay, I've got the lyrics up here. We're gonna do a probably mostly line by line analysis, or maybe we do, but so what do you see with the eyes in your head, right? So what is your perceived reality, right? Pitiful struggle, or are you content? I think that one's pretty straightforward, right? Are you happy or otherwise? Fear and anger so garishly clothed. In other words, you're hiding that fear and anger. It's disguised, right? It's dressed up, almost presenting it as acceptable. Actually, now that I think about it, garishly clothed, right? So it's like there in your face, not as disguised, but it's almost like that's what you're presenting. So I think I misinterpreted it at first. Resignation and ignorance tied up in bows. Right? So you're taking these passive states, resignation, ignorance, and kind of wrapping up in a nice little bow tie saying, here you go, this is what's accepted. Oh, this is really deep, because I think this could be critiquing propaganda or media or just societal conditioning, just accepting suffering and ignorance. A king to a pauper, a sad, wizened clown. It's interesting, their pronunciation, I think they said wizened, if I heard correctly. I think the idea is that it's universal, regardless of your wealth or your status or otherwise. Suffering, something that we all feel. A joke and a punchline, people all around. Life is reduced to a joke. People laughing all around their own self-destructive behavior. Rose-tinted glasses and no one is sane. Right, so it's almost like you've got a ideal, like an unrealistic view of the world, right? With the rose-tinted glasses, no one is sane. It's almost like the reality requires you to be willfully ignorant or madness, right? Like to become insane to understand it, or even just maintaining the illusion. A big waltzing blindfold, we are what we play. Okay, so people obviously have a blindfold on, and who we portray, who we act, who we pretend to be is where we are. It feels almost like there's the waltzing is like there's some rhythm to it, which is really interesting because the waltz here is in 3 and this is in 3. So that's interesting choice. We are what we play, nothing is sane. So we've already heard that, I think. What can we hear with his ears in his hands? What can he hear? Sorry. What can he hear with his ears in his hands? So, you're covering it up. How can you possibly hear if you're choosing not to listen? You're blind to it. You're refusing here to truth, all these things. Her silently weeping, his head in the sand. So, silently weeping so that it's unheard. Right? People are weeping. I mean, in this case, she's weeping, but she can't be heard. His head in the sand. I feel like that's like an ostrich in the sand type of metaphor, like buried deep, you can't accept the reality. Patiently lurking in water and wine, he'll drown by her tears or choke on his time. Water and wine, there's a biblical reference to that. I don't think I know it. I just feel like it's deception, though. Drowned by her tears, so eventually she's gonna perish from her tears. It's gonna, I essentially, I believe emotionally, it's kind of like it's gonna overwhelm her. Choking his time. Interesting. So he wastes so much time ignoring things, I suppose. This is deep. For what we've forsaken and taken too soon. I mean, there's so many things that taken too soon could be. I mean, it could be as direct as, the impact to ourselves and our potential futures, but also things like destroying resources, Mother Earth, society, politics. I mean, there's so many things that could potentially play, especially knowing Ren. That's interesting. But then it continues, before murdering old mother, right? So old mother, I'm sure they're talking about Mother Earth here. So I think it is more tied to resources. We destroy them. We dance on the moon. So interesting. So while humanity destroys Earth, we continue to seek out other places or explorations such as the moon. So maybe misplaced priorities. Deaf to the thunder that silently cracks, we're holding our breath until her collapse. Wow. Thunder that silently cracks. It feels like, existential, right? Like 1984 type of stuff, which is so symbolic to, or so Ren, right? It symbolizes ignored warmings, climate change, war crisis, holding our breath until her collapse. Yeah, absolutely. What do you feel with your heart in your chest? Some few thousand years could soon come to rest. Exactly. So, after thousands of years, human civilization could come to the end. Okay, now this is starting to feel more just overall existential. And, we need to stop putting up guises and masks for ourselves. We need to actually act. We need to stop pretending as if we're going through this playful ritual. Stop putting our hands up to our ears and our head in the sand. Do you feel the butcher, the bullet that bores? The butcher is all about death and destruction. As is the bullet that bores. I feel like that's the actual impact, right? The actual, impact's the best word of violence, right? With corkscrewing chaos and mighty roar. Out of control destruction. So yeah, again, if we're talking end of war, it could be like some kind of missiles or maybe some natural thing like storms, giant hurricanes and things to that effect, etc. Mighty roar could be literally animals. It could be humans. It could be just the war itself or destruction. What do you feel with your heart in your chest? Yeah, so this continues. Bell tolling destruction, our final swan song. Yeah, and swan song is often determined as the final song. So, bell tolling destruction. So yeah, it feels like it's end of civilization type of stuff. A bit of doomsday, a bit of doomsday dystopian type of song, which is. Wow, it's really, really fascinating when you consider that and just how beautiful yet how haunting those harmonies were in that song, right? It does represent that kind of double-edged feeling, is that if you just listen and you just listen to the song, it's beautiful, it's touching, it's moving, it's emotional. But then if you take into account the words, the lyrics, what they're saying, it becomes much more intricate. It becomes much more complex. It becomes much more deceptive. What a powerful song. And what a powerful opener of their band. My goodness, how has this gone unnoticed? How have I not done this? Well, maybe it hasn't gone unnoticed, but how have I not done this to this point? I feel like it's to some extent a good thing, but amazing. I love it. I'm definitely going to be listening to this one again. Thank you again for the recommendation, Liana. Did I say that right? I don't have it open. Yeah, Liana Babelli. Thank you much. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so yet. Consider joining us over at a-aronreacts.com/Ren and Friends with dashes between it, Ren and Friends, where we not only give early access to videos of Ren, but also Friends, The Big Push, Remain Goran, Chinchilla, Sam Tompkins, etc. So thank you much. We will see you in the next one. Take care.